welcome to NEK VT Rocks. My guest today is Pauline Broe, and today is Earth Day. We've got a blanket of snow outside,
Yes.
and we're going to talk about Reindeer Farm. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing, yes.
How long have you had the farm?
We've had the farm, well, it's been in the family a really long time, passed down from generation to generation, but we've only had the reindeer there for, I think, 11 years.
What did you have before that?
Before that, it was just fields and the Broe farm. So we've got part of the Broe farm was deeded over to John. So we've got, I think it's like 35 acres. And we built our barn and built our house. And then I got this crazy idea to get reindeer. And it just blossomed from there.
Where did that strange idea come from?
Well, I was reading this Countrywoman magazine.
Yeah.
And on the front cover was this lady, and she had blonde hair, red coat, and she was standing there next to her reindeer. And I was like, John, that looks kind of cool. We've got a barn, we got some land. So it took us about 8 months working with the state of Vermont to get all the permits. You know, there's a lot of rules and regulations. So it took us 8 months to be able to get everything in place and get inspected and to find reindeer that could come into Vermont.
Wow.
So you don't just find them anywhere, and they have to be approved by the state of Vermont to come into Vermont. So it was a huge undertaking, and
So
we
it's
did
worse than DMV.
it. Pretty much. It was quite a task, but we did it.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, who'd think it would be so complicated?
Right, it's because of diseases. Vermont is the state that's clean of all diseases like brucellosis, tuberculosis, CWD, so they don't want us to bring any reindeer in that might have that. So it's a whole testing process the deer have to go through too before coming into the state.
Did you get the reindeer in this country, or did you have to go abroad for them?
In this country, yes.
Yeah. So there are other places.
There are very few states that Vermont will let us bring them in from because of diseases and other things. So it's a whole big long thing to bring them in from.
Amazing.
Yes.
Did you start with just one or bring a pair?
We brought a pair in and thought we were going to have babies and everything was going to be wonderful, and that didn't happen. So right now we have 3 girls. We have Dasher, Cupid, and Prancer. And Prancer's been with us since she was 3 months old.
Oh.
And the other 2, I think, are 4 and 5 years old, or maybe 5 and 6 now.
Yeah. You brought some amazing show and tell items here.
Yes.
And when I picked up those antlers, I cannot imagine walking around with those on my head.
And what's really interesting is it only takes 3 or 4 months to grow those antlers.
Something that size is 3 or 4 months.
Yes, and you can actually almost see the growth daily.
Yeah.
So I brought along, like, these are Prancer's little baby antlers.
Oh.
So when she came to live with us at 3 months old, she had already grown her antlers.
Wow.
So every year they grow their antlers. Males and females both have antlers. They grow their antlers and then they fall off. Do you want me to just kind of go through my spews?
Just a little bit, yeah.
So they grow their antlers with this velvet on them, and you can see, I mean, it just has these long sheets of velvet. So all summer, the reindeer have this velvet on there. It's very sensitive.
Fuzzy covering.
It's a fuzzy cover. It's very sensitive, and it feels very hot because they're growing so fast. So Prancer's little baby antlers still had a little bit of that velvet left on there when they came off. And every year, their antlers get a little bit bigger. These are actually the antlers right here that Prancer grew this year and just barely fell off about a week or so ago. So kind of cool to see the growth in those.
There's a video on your Facebook page of you finding those.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
Yes.
Digging them out of the snow.
Usually it's our grandson's job to find the antlers, and this year he wasn't able to be there because of the COVID thing, and he wasn't very happy that he couldn't find the antlers this year.
What are the antlers formed from? Minerals?
It's the same material as your bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they are very hard. Like, we've got a lot hung up in our house and in our reindeer lodge. To hang them up, you actually have to pre-drill a hole through them.
Wow.
You can't just hold them up and screw through. You have to pre-drill a hole and then hang them up.
Yeah. So you think that would be really stressful for an animal growing that, dumping it each year?
I don't think it's stressful. I think that
apparently not.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
When they're in that velvet, they're very sensitive to touch. They won't touch their antlers to anything. They are spatially aware of where those antlers are. As soon as the velvet falls off, then they'll knock over their water buckets and their grain buckets and rub on everything. So and when this velvet is on, it's very hot.
Yeah.
But as their antlers are done growing, this feels cold, and then it falls off.
Right.
And we collect it just to show people. Birds take it, and the squirrels get it. Our dog wants to eat it. So it's a really cool process to see a reindeer throughout the whole year.
My personally favorite reindeer fact is that in the winter, it's only the females that have the antlers. So Rudolph, therefore, is female.
So the males.
Everybody please remember that.
The males are going to lose theirs after rut season, which is like November.
Right.
So the males do not have theirs all winter. The girls will keep theirs until their babies are born in the spring, and then they'll fall off.
So that's how all of the Christmas presents get delivered, because female reindeer can find their way from place to place.
The girls are the workers.
That's right. It's just like life. You're a school teacher in real life.
I'm a para-educator at Derby Elementary. Yeah.
And you, I understand, do workshops in the schools and take the reindeer in.
We take the reindeer out on display a lot.
Yeah.
This last year was totally different, but
of course.
We like to have the local summer programs and camps. Last year we had a horse camp from Jericho that came and brought all those kids up, and they loved it. So they're going to come for a whole day visit. They're going to visit the reindeer, but we also have all these other animals.
What else do you have?
So we have mini donkeys, mini goats, ducks, chickens, ponies, peacocks.
Ooh.
The peacocks are so
Hardly
beautiful.
anybody has peacocks
I know.
up here.
So we have the peacocks and bunnies, so they can see all those animals. Our state law says that reindeer cannot commingle with farm animals. So one side of the driveway is the reindeer and the fallow deer, and then the other side of the driveway is the farm animals. So there's a lot of farm animals to see too.
Yeah. You have fallow deer as well.
Yeah, we have 4 fallow deer, and we have one little Sika deer,
Oh.
which is Sika, and she was, the state called us, geez, she must be almost 2.5 years old, and asked us if we would take her as a baby. So, I don't know if you can see this. So this is Maple Annie
Aww.
when she was a baby.
All dressed up for
So
the holidays.
She lived in our house. They told us if
Yeah.
we took her in, she could live in our house for like a month and then go live with the fallow
Yeah.
deer. But our dogs adopted her, and she lived in our house for 6 months. So she became a dog. So she's out there too, and she is just a joy. She's like just such.
She's a dog.
She thinks she's a dog, and when she sees me coming, she runs right up to me, and she always wants love and hugs. So Maple Annie's a huge hit too. People love to come and see Maple Annie. So
How do people get in contact with you?
through our Facebook page,
Yeah.
there's
And that's
a
Vermont Deer Farm.
Vermont Reindeer
Reindeer
Farm.
Farm.
Pretty easy. If you Google reindeer in Vermont, you're going to find
There's
us. We're
nothing
the only
else, right.
reindeer in the state of Vermont.
Yeah.
So we usually are open and people can book tours. Right now we're not.
Right.
We just haven't been for a
The
month
last
or so.
year.
Yeah. So we're hoping to be open back up in June, and people can book their times then.
This is a mighty expensive hobby you have.
Yes, it is. We had no idea that it would grow into what it wants, but it's kind of amazing. Like, Prancer has been in one movie that was supposed to come out last year, but it didn't come out. It's called The Truth About Santa. So a production company came from New York, Medicine Chester, and she's in that film. And
Did you have to join Equity, the Actors Union, for that?
oh, they had to have someone there to make sure that she wasn't
Being abused.
being abused, and they had their whole checkoff list.
Oh, that's great.
So, and she's been in a short film. She's been in a video because she's 11 years old. She's been there a long time.
Yeah.
So, and Dasher and Cupid have been in a wedding. So, if anybody needs a reindeer for
prop.
something, they call us, and we try to figure out how we can do it. So it's really interesting. We've met some really neat people, and it's just fun. So,
Yeah.
and
sort of the things you don't think of that are in our very own backyard, because you're right in our backyard.
sorry, right in West Charleston, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually live in West Charleston, but our mailing address is Orleans, so it confuses people.
Yeah.
They're like, we thought you lived in Orleans. I'm like, no, we live in West Charleston.
Right.
So that's just the way
Yeah.
these back roads are up here.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Do you have a sort of store as well with reindeer paraphernalia?
We have a little gift shop that we call the Reindeer Lodge, and that's when people come. Before COVID, we used to come in there and I'd teach reindeer school. This is all part of my reindeer school. So it takes about 30 minutes to teach about reindeer. And in that shop, we have some like reindeer mugs, and we have some syrup that we've made. And I also have another business called Nature's Touch, where I make homemade soaps and lotions and lip balms. So all of that stuff is available in there. We have T-shirts. And so we have a cute little gift shop. It's kind of fun to play in the gift shop and arrange things. And, you know, in the winter, everybody's going to get hot cocoa.
Yeah.
And so we do different things. In the fall, we do a big fall festival. And that attracts a lot of people to our fall festival.
Will you be able to do that this year?
I hope so. We did it very small last year. Like last year, I think this date allowed us to have 300 people.
Oh.
You know, before that,
Yeah.
we would pull in 1,500 people over the course of the weekend.
Sure.
So we have a hay ride, and we have pony rides, a barrel train cart, and see all the animals and go in the woods. We have a lot of different things. We have a craft fair. It got to be a really big event, and then
It sounds
nothing.
wonderful.
It is.
I don't know how I've missed that.
Oh, you'll have to come to it. It's
I
really
will.
fun. And we turn the Reindeer Lodge then into our cook shack. And my sister and my sister-in-law both are really good cooks and do hot dogs and hamburgers and french fries
Yeah.
and fried dough. And, you know, we do the whole big thing. It's like it's a fair up there. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work, but it's fun.
It's so amazing
Yes.
what we have right here.
Yes.
And don't always know about.
Exactly.
I mean, I've seen your reindeer at Christmas events, like at Agway,
Yes.
Newport Farm.
Newport Farm and Garden. Yeah,
Yeah.
we go there every year. Yeah.
And it's great.
Yes.
It's really fun to pull in that day and see all the little kids.
Yes.
Everybody just gazing
I know.
at a reindeer.
It is. It's so fun to talk to kids
Yeah.
and let them see the animals, because some kids have never seen them. So it is. I love talking to people about the reindeer. I love educating people about the reindeer. And we feel that it's important to do an educational piece, not just come and say, look at our pretty reindeer. So when they leave, they're all going to at least learn a fact. And I'll say, what did you learn about reindeer? And if they learn about it, they're going to get like a little reindeer sticker or a
That's
reindeer
great.
button or something, because they're going to all learn
So on
something.
Earth Day, they're going to learn about the environment and
Yes.
the relevance of
Yes.
the reindeer and what we have to do with the planet to keep reindeer safe and healthy.
Yes. Yeah.
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 It's so great.
Yeah. It is like when I go to work at school, the kids know that we have the farm.
Yeah.
And they want to talk about it. So like I call it my office under the stairs, where I do a lot of assessing, and I have pictures hung up on the wall. And some kids don't really know me. The younger kids, when I'm pulling them out of classroom to come and test them. So the first thing I do is be like, I have a picture like this. I'll be like, look, who's this? And they'll be like, that's you. And then we talk about the reindeer, and pretty much I can calm a child down that might be a little anxious, and then they know. And a lot of kids are like, how can you take care of reindeer and be at school? So, you know, I'll be like, I get up early, do my chores, take a shower, come to school. And I think that just makes such a connection. The kids love that connection, that there's Mrs. Broe and she's the reindeer lady too.
Yeah.
So over the years, I've been there a long time, over the years, been able to just connect through animals.
Yeah.
And I'd love for those kids to know about animals. And
Do you ever
connect
take
with
any of your animals into the school?
We used to do it some, but so many rules have changed. And it's really hard when I'm working
Yeah.
to
To
do
be
it.
babysitting an animal.
Yeah,
I know.
so it is hard to do that. We have the Lincoln School last year did this whole great big unit on Mongolia, and they wanted us to bring the reindeer, and it was perfect because we were on vacation that week. Our school district was, and they were in school, so we got to go down to Lincoln, which was quite a drive.
That is a drive, yeah.
So. And we just spent the day at the Lincoln School. It was kind of cool to be in another school and to see everything down there. And for them to learn about they'd already learned about them through this thing. But then to see them and to touch this stuff, I mean, it was a really good day. We took a couple of our grandsons down with us. Our grandchildren, can help us out. Our grandchildren can do reindeer school just as well as I can, They know the facts. They know the stuff. So
and I'm sure they're really into it, too.
Yes. So it's like a family thing, that everybody helps us out.
And you have a very large family.
We have 3 boys and then all the grandchildren. So it is fun to have them involved in it. So, and that's what's important to us is the family, to have the family involved in it.
Yeah. Are other family members as interested in other exotic animals that might be coming into your fold?
No, we're not ready to take on any other animals. Right now, it's all I can do to take care of all of these. It takes me in the morning a little over an hour to do chores, and then
that's not bad.
Go to school. No, it's not. And then at night, it's like an hour and a half because I do more at night. In the morning, I'm pretty much like, trying to feed everybody and take care of everybody. And we always do like a visual check on every animal when you're feeding them, you know, like just kind of, 1, 2, 3 goats, how they look, 1, 2, 3 donkeys.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. You're also one of the very few places that has peacocks up here. Again, because they're not really a bird that thrives up here.
Right. Well, that was funny.
I love peacocks.
I do too. I have always loved peacocks. And a friend of mine she was helping us at our fall festival, and I think I made a comment like, someday I'm going to have some peacocks. And I know nothing, we knew nothing about reindeer when we got them, and I knew nothing about peacocks. And next thing I know, there's my friend Sue getting a hold of me like, I've got 2 baby peacocks for you.
Wow.
So she brought these little ugly peacock baby birds, and we just put them in with our little chicks we had, and they grew up, and the peacocks kept getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger.
So we named them George and Cosmo, and George is our boy, our man. Oh, he is just beautiful.
The spectacular tail.
And when he'll fluff up his tail.
Because they're such show-offs.
And then you can hear it fluttering.
Yeah.
When it is. I didn't know that you could hear that flutter. So right now he has his first eye feather. It's got the little eye on it, just one of them. So my grandson Jack is like, that's my feather when it drops out. So Jack gets to have that.
Yeah, peacocks are common where I come from.
Oh, yes.
So just as soon as I hear the sound, and you hear it on movies and other things, they say, oh, peacocks. I'd love to have peacocks.
And he is so funny because he'll be all fluffed up, and I'll get my camera out to take it, and he turns around and shows me the back side of him, not the front side of him. So so they're really fun. And we have silky chickens too, and everybody loves the silky chickens. Yep. Because they're so fluffy, and they like to be held.
And they go broody, just like
that.
My
goodness, we've got one. I know she's broody in the back of that.
Yeah. So you can sit somebody else's eggs underneath her.
We just actually hatched some silky eggs for a friend of mine, so they've got the babies. But when people come, they can hold a silky chicken, because regular chickens really don't like to be held. But those silkies, people I can hold a chicken. Yeah. So we have had the opportunity to let so many people hold a chicken that have never held a chicken. People from all over the country that come. So it's those little experiences, like, I held a chicken today, or I got to walk a donkey, so that's what we love.
Have your peacocks laid eggs yet?
Not yet. I read that it's when they're 2 years old, and they will be 2 years old in September, I think it is.
I presume you're going to hatch them, or hope to try and hatch them.
I don't know what we're going to do. We haven't figured out, but we do have an incubator. Of course, we have an incubator, so we hatch those silky chickens, and we give away a lot
a peahen rather, could hatch her own egg.
Yes, she could. Yeah, and I think that they lay quite a few. So, if of course we're going to try.
Of course.
We can't just not try.
That would be so cool.
Yes. So we have Guinea Fowl. Do you know what Guinea Fowl are?
Yeah.
And how loud they are?
Yes,
So
I do.
we went to a reindeer convention, and they told us the best thing you can do for your reindeer is to have Guinea Fowl out in your reindeer enclosure, because they will eat the ticks.
Right.
We don't really find a lot of ticks at our place. I'm not sure it's because they're doing their job, but even when we're down in the woods. So we always feel like we should have 7 or 8 Guinea fowl. Yeah. So last summer we had 6, and I'm like, oh boy, what if something happens? So I got a hold of a girl in St. John's where I bought 6 babies. I'm like, just to be sure. So we got the 6 babies. Little did I know there was a mama guinea fowl hatching eggs, and she hatched 15. So we gave away a lot of little baby guinea fowl. Right now we have 15.
Did you warn people?
So we have 15 guinea fowl out in that reindeer pasture now. And they're so loud.
They are awful.
But they do their job.
Yes, they do.
Because some ticks carry a disease called babesia,
Yeah.
which is fatal to reindeer. They have not found babesia in ticks in Vermont, but we don't really want to take a chance. So we've got all of
Right.
these guinea fowl that are out there living with the reindeer.
Do those ticks infect other animals as well, do you know?
I don't know. I just know that.
Yeah.
And we
it may
actually
be that we have so few reindeer, all three of them.
right.
that
Right, so we
the
have those
disease
guinea
hasn't
fowl out there,
survived.
and they're supposed to stay in there every few days. One flies out of the 8-foot
Yeah,
enclosure, and we
of
have to
course.
go out there and herd the guinea, because the guinea fowl wants to be with the other ones, so we have to kind of like
Right.
herd it back in, and it runs back in. So, but we don't really need 15 out there. But whatever.
Where do all your critters go in the winter?
Into the barn. So right now,
I bet your barn is so loud.
They're really not loud when it's just us, but when people come,
Yeah.
like our farrier was there a while ago, and they knew it was someone different. His name is Courtney. Poor Courtney's trying to do
Yeah.
the feed, and they're like, so anyway, as soon as spring comes, they go out just
I
to get them
bet.
out to the barn. So in the summer, like our main barn doesn't have hardly any animals. The ducks come in at night.
Yeah.
And the chickens come in at night, but the rest of them have their outside places. They'd rather be outside. I mean, they all have a shelter outside, but
Yeah.
they're all
Sure.
outside in their grassy, whatever.
What kind of ducks?
They're Rowans.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 white Peakings. So we have different groups of them because we have 2 over here that are the older ones.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have grandmother duck who's really old and her sister, and then the other ones.
I know somebody who ever so often is looking to home a couple of muscovies. If ever you're interested in adding muscovies, they're lovely.
Yes, I've heard that, and they're actually ones too that we were told to have for the reindeer too.
Oh,
So,
do I have somebody to introduce you to?
so we have 3 ducks that just kind of roam around the farm.
Yeah.
And we had a really bad snail problem years ago, and snails carry diseases,
Yes.
which you don't want your animals to get. So we let those 3. They just run around the farm all day long,
Eating snails.
eating snails, and we don't have a snail problem. But I've heard that the muscovies are really good for
They're
that.
very
too.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a lot of Japanese beetles,
Mm-hmm.
and we gather them, and the chickens devour them.
Yes.
It's their
Yes.
favorite food.
Yes. So that's why
I wish
those
they could
3
jump high enough to pick on
I know.
themselves. but-
So, like, we kind of, like, I think some people thought, you know, like, oh, that Pauline, she's crazy. Now she's getting ducks. But the duck's purpose was that. The guinea
Right.
fowl have a purpose. Mostly everybody has a purpose. Some are just for fun.
It's a circle of
Yes.
life. You know?
So, you know, like, a lot of our animals are rescue animals that we've taken in.
Right.
So, when they come, I always give them a hug and say, you're not here. We don't buy, sell, and trade. They come here. This is your forever home. So, you know, the animals just kind of live, do their thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We always tell the animals on this side of the driveway, say thanks to the reindeer because they're the ones that pay for the food to feed you. So it all
Yeah.
kind of works out. And our son is a dairy farmer, and he provides hay to us. So we get hay from John,
Uh-huh.
and my husband works over there in exchange for hay. You know, so everything just kind of works. It just kind of works. So
It's just amazing. It's beautiful.
yeah, I love it there. I would rather just stay home all the time and not have to work and leave.
Well,
But
someday.
someday that's what I will
But
do.
it's also a way for you to spread what you're doing, spread the word, and
Yes.
that people can then contact you and
Mhm.
come and see your place
Mhm.
and learn.
Yes.
And I don't know if places are going to have camps this year that would be interesting, but as a kid, I would have loved to have done that.
Oh, I know. The kids love to come.
Yeah.
And so we have a nature trail that goes down through our woods, and we have like a shelter building area and
Uh-huh.
it's funny to see kids that are maybe city kids, not used to be in the woods. At first, they're like
Yeah.
picking up the wood and putting it here and there, and by the end, they're covered with dirt and mud,
Yeah,
and they've built this
exactly.
shelter, and they're just having so much fun. So that is really fun, just to get those kids into the woods.
Yeah,
know?
people need to know about you in other states too.
Yes, you know, we have quite a following on our Facebook page, and people come year after year after year. We've made so many good friends for people, you know, it's part of their thing. We're here in Vermont, we got to go to the
Right.
reindeer farm. And I'm like, you want to come again? Sometimes they don't need to hear reindeer school again, but they just want to come. And, you know, we want people to feel like when they come to our farm, they're coming to visit like family. Like, come on, you know, here's Aunt Pauline or Grandma, whatever. And if our grandchildren are there, they just join in and help us out. And so it is, I think we've created this as kind of a fun thing. It's not Santa's Village, you know, it's not that. It's not an amusement park. That's how I'll say. This isn't an amusement park. This is coming to the farm.
This is real.
This is real. Yes. This is real.
I mean, I'm full of flip comments about Rudolph, but we all know that's a joke.
Yes.
But this is fun.
Yeah, this is.
This is real, and it's about learning how nature balances itself.
Yes.
I mean, just saying about the ducks and the guineas and their circle of life with the reindeer, how they keep each other healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Really cool.
And, you know, like the reindeer really don't like to be petted and touched, but right beside them we have the fallow deer and Maple Annie, who all love graham crackers. So, of course, we buy graham crackers by the case. And so when we'll take them into the reindeer enclosure, they go right in there with the reindeer.
Yeah.
And then we go into the next pen over, and there's the fallow deer, like, where's the graham crackers? And, you know, like this winter, there was a little girl that was scared to death of the reindeer, you know, with those great big antlers.
Yeah.
Yet she got over there with those little fallow deer, and she loved it. So the fallow deer actually steal the show because they're over there like, where's the graham crackers?
And they're so pretty.
And they're just so cute, and they're little. And like Maple Annie, if you put a graham cracker in your mouth, she's going to come over and take it out and give you a little kiss. And so that's, you know, like, I don't think if we had just the fallow deer farm, people would come just for the fallow deer. They want to come and see the reindeer, but they love those fallow deer and Maple Annie.
Right, 'cause the reindeer have name recognition.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's what draws people in.
Yes.
But the rest is as much fun.
It is, and exactly right, because sometimes we'll get little notes, you know, thank you notes from kids. There's always, we loved your dog, and we loved Maple Annie. We love the ducks, and very rarely.
Occasionally the reindeer.
Occasionally the reindeer will get mentioned.
Well, they're not as social.
Right, they're just not. They're not as social with us either. I mean, they are when I'm coming with the food.
Yeah, well,
you know.
that's
but they are
practical.
intimidating with those antlers on there to little kids. So the fallow deer fit the ticket for that, and they're nice little deer. And
you've never mentioned cats. You have cats.
Oh yes, we have 2 house cats. We have Deacon and Bella. Yes, and people love the cats. So the cats, you know, they come and go. You know, we have one dog, Norman, and Norman is just with me wherever. And then the cats come and go, and people love the cats. And they're like, "Are these Siamese?" I'm like, "No, they're just barn cats that look like Siamese."
Right. Yeah, we have one of those.
Yes. So the whole combination of being able to pet a cat, see a dog, you know, see all these things.
Hold a fluffy silky chicken.
And, you know, I can see sometimes we'll have like those preteens that are just there because their parents have dragged them there. But pretty much by the time they leave, I've drawn them in. Yeah. Like, here, you want a graham cracker to feed the deer? You know, pretty much by the time any kid leaves, you can see that they've got it. They've got it. And I love it. You know, like my husband is a lot more laid back than me, so I'm the one out there blah, 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 blah,
right
talking.
Well, somebody has to
be out there, and he's the behind the scenes kind of guy,
right.
So between the two of us, we make it happen.
Does everybody ask you, do you have a sleigh?
We do. We have a sleigh that sits right out there in front of the reindeer barn, and they like to get in there and get their pictures taken. So we always
you have your photo ops too.
Yes, we have photo ops, and we do different little games. You know, we have an antler ring toss game, and just try to add something new each year that is kind of a fun thing. Maybe even make the nature trail longer. So
you'd be great for kids' birthday parties.
Yeah, we've thought about that. We haven't ever gone that far yet. It's hard because we're both working too. Right. And I teach after school programs. So, you know, I don't get home until like 5:30, then have to do chores. So, you know, it's tricky to try to fit everything in.
Yeah. When you're ready to quit your day job, because you could turn this into a full-time job
We
too.
probably could, but
yeah.
And I love working with kids. I've been at Derby School. This is my 29th year.
Wow.
And, you know, I love working. I work in the art room in the afternoon, and I do the after-school program because I can do, like, arts and crafts with the kids.
Sure.
And they all know that Mrs. Broe is going to have some kind of cool project to do. So, you know, I'm always looking for cool projects to do, and And it is about the kids. It's about the kids. The kids in our area really need to have fun things to do.
Yeah, and that school and the daily library do wonderful kids programming.
Yes, they do.
Really amazing.
So, we don't travel with the reindeer in the summer. People have asked us to do things in the summer, but we don't because their antlers are growing.
Right.
And if one of them was to jump up in the trailer and break that velvet, they could bleed, and that wouldn't be good. So
that
we do
wouldn't look
not
good.
travel with the reindeer in the summer. So if people want to see reindeer in the summer, they come to us. We don't start traveling with them until November when they're in the hard antler.
Right.
And we'll see how this year goes. We kind of like staying home last year. Maybe this year we don't travel. Maybe we make everybody come to us.
Which would be really nice.
It would be because, we go all the way down to Manchester, Vermont for a big event down there at Christmas time. That's a long way.
Yes, it is.
It's 3-4 hours there, and you be there 4 or 5 hours, and then back. We send our sons to that one. Be like, Jeremy, Justin, you guys are going there. We're going to Agway. So
it's a lot.
It is a lot. So we don't know what we're going to do this year.
And even if they could put you up in a hotel overnight, it's a little challenging to put the girls up.
Right, and the girls they've never spent the night away from home. So I don't know what we're going to do this year. It was, like I said, it was kind of nice to make people come to us.
Maybe it's time to do more events there and draw more people into the Northeast Kingdom.
Right.
Because as I think about the advertising for the four-season outdoor recreation story that we're telling about ourselves, I haven't seen anything about reindeer.
No.
And
they probably don't know about us.
Well, well, we'll have a video at the end of this today.
Okay. No, we really are out of this area more than we are in this area. Which is too bad, but that's, we've contacted people and people don't want to, or, I know Newport Farm and Garden, we're there every year. Bobby and Tracy have supported us from day one. The day we got those reindeer, I remember Bobby saying, we got to have the reindeer here, and they waited till the last minute this last year to cancel, because they kept holding out, hoping we could do something, or how could we do it. So I got to say, them guys really have supported us, and we support them.
That's this year.
Well, hopefully, that's where we're going to buy all of our grain, and that's where they're going to, have us. So we have a great working relationship with Newport Farm and Garden.
It's a lovely store.
It is.
Yeah. We are out of time.
Oh, are we already? Okay. See, that did go fast.
So thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And remind people once again where they can reach you.
Through our Facebook page, and it has our phone number on it, and our email address.
Not on Facebook, what's your number?
If you're not on Facebook, we also have a website, VermontReindeerFarm.com. And our phone number is 802-754-9583. And, there's all kinds of ways to contact us that way. We don't want people just to come because sometimes I'll be in the middle of making soap. Sometimes we're feeding animals. Sometimes I'm washing dishes. So we have specific times when people can come.
Great. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes,
I want to come out now.
Good. You'll have to come
I've seen the reindeer before, but I want to see everybody else.
It's totally different to see them.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to go into the enclosure with them.
So we'll figure out a time. And thank you so much for coming in here today and bringing these gorgeous
all my stuff
items.